This is the Spartan Body Mind Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Winterhalter. Man, today we're going to talk about failure. What happens when I fail? Many of you have set New Year's resolutions. You are headlong into them, and I hope none of you have bailed yet. None of you have, but you may have experienced some failure. So that's what I want to talk about today. What do you do when you experience failure? Do you just give up? Do you dive back in? How do you dive back in? How do you make things happen? How do you accomplish those goals, especially the ones that are really daunting? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to encourage you, if this is the first time you've ever listened to the Spartan Body Mind Podcast, I want to encourage you to subscribe. I want to encourage you, whether you're listening on your audio device, subscribe there, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you get the notifications when we try to launch. We try to have 3 new podcasts every week, and so we want to keep you inspired, want to keep you moving, and want to answer your questions so you can accomplish your goals, specifically with fitness and mindset. You can join the free Facebook group. You head over there, Spartan Body and Mind, and join the community. And maybe you're in a place where you're like, man, I'm trying to accomplish some big goals, but I can't do it alone. Maybe today is really mindful. You're saying, I failed already. I've bailed. I'm done. I just cannot do this. Well, yes, you can. You just need the right plan. You need the right path, and you need the right people. And that's what the Spartan program is. We are a community of people who are we want to give you that customized plan it's a realistic plan, but you can accomplish what you set your mind to. You just need a realistic plan and a path, a timeline with way markers along the way to keep you on track to reach that. And most of all, you need a people. You need to row with others, specifically men, who are going to encourage you, inspire you, and hold you accountable to do what you say you want to do. And so if we can be of help, go to thespartanprogram.com, fill out the form there, and our team will be in touch. Okay, let's dive in. What do you do when you experience failure? Some of you, again, you've done New Year's resolutions, and you've been gung-ho, and here we are 2 weeks in, and how many of you have already failed? Maybe you had a day of failure, right? You just couldn't get the meals in. You went out to eat. You went to that friend's birthday party, and right, you gorged. You drank. You just totally went off meal plan, and now you feel all frustrated. Or life happened, right? You work happened. It kept you late. You missed the gym. A kid got sick. You got sick. I talked about that earlier this week. I've been sick for the last week. I missed the gym. I missed 2 gym sessions, which meant because there was a rest day in there, it meant I was out of the gym for 3 days in a row. That's crazy for me. 3 days in a row, I went mad. I'm like, what am I going to do? And so what do you do? What do you do when you experience a failure, right? What happens when a day gets thrown away? Here's a bigger thing. Although we're only 2 weeks in, maybe you've had a whole week that just failed. You got sick and were out of the gym the entire week. You had life happen. You set your goals. Maybe you were like, man, I got to be all in. I'm eating nothing but chicken and rice. And you did it for a week and it was awesome. And all of a sudden something came up. Meal prep didn't happen. And so you kind of had to adjust. And you said, well, it'll just be one day. And you went out to eat and you kind of totally failed on the diet. It was just one day, and you're like, I'll get back on track, but you didn't. And it just one day turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into pizza and ice cream, and you were just, whatever, it's done, right? A whole week is gone now. And failure. You've experienced failure, whether that's a day, a couple days, a full week. That's where you're at right now. You're just like, man, I failed. I've given up. It's just pointless. Let's be honest. Failure only occurs when you give up. Failure doesn't occur when you miss a day. Sure, you got off track, but you didn't fail yet. You haven't failed. You got sick. Life happened. You made some bad choices. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you made bad choices. But guess what? Now you can make good choices. You have all the power in the world to get back on track. It's all within you. No one's holding you at gunpoint saying, well, this is your identity. No one's forcing you and telling you you need to be overweight the rest of your life. You can't do it. That's just voices in your head giving you permission to do what you want to do, and that's be lazy. That's be who you actually want to be, which right now is out of shape and overweight. And why do we want to be that? We want to be that because it's easy, it's comfortable, it takes no work, but it's costing you everything. It's costing you the life you want to live. It's costing you relationships. It's costing you health. It's costing you time and resources. It's costing you in so many ways. But that immediate gratification of being lazy, of going to oral fixation with eating food, it's just easy and it's right there. And so here's the thing. You only fail when you give up. So have you given up? If you haven't given up, if there's still a light, if there's still a glimmer, if there's still a willpower that says, I want to do it, then hey, let's go. And how do we go? That's really what I want to talk about. When you encounter what I'll call temporary failure, not complete failure. Complete failure is only when you say, I give up. When you experience a temporary failure, what do? 3 things. Number 1, assess. Assess what happened. I think most people, this is why they don't get back on the train, is because they don't really assess. They don't say, okay, what happened that made me or allowed me, tempted me to get off track with my diet, to miss that gym session, and just write it down. Just be real clear, right? I was invited out to eat. I wanted to make good choices. I intended to make good choices, but once I got there, I didn't. Once I got there, I was like, oh man, but I really want a bonsai burger at Red Robin instead of just a chicken breast. Okay, so something happened in you. You know what? I'm familiar with that. I used to have this thing where it's something in my subconscious. It was not frontal lobe, but it was very subconscious. I think a lot of people might struggle with this. What happens is when we go out to eat, there's like this old caveman DNA in us that says, this may be your last meal. Make it count. And so we order like the biggest thing. We order appetizers. We order extra because there's something in our old history that says, right, like you're hunting right now and you need to fill yourself up. I think especially a lot of guys struggle with this. There's just something wired in you that tells you you've got to overeat at every meal. You've got to retrain yourself. You've got to tell yourself that is not reality. I have food around me within reach and easy accessibility all hours of the day. I'm going to survive. I can choose good choices right now. And even tell yourself, like, yes, I'm tempted to get this, but that is not going to help accomplish my goals. What are my goals? My goals are these. That sidetracks me. I need the chicken breast. I need chicken breast with some avocado. Boom. That's what I'm going to get. Right? You've got to stay. You got to assess what happened. Where was I and why did I make those choices so that you can go, okay, I got to do some rewiring work. I got to do some mindset work that when I go out, so you could even say like, hey, your work friends are like, hey, let's go out to eat. And you're like, oh man, okay, if I go then you have to help me make some good choices. Keep me accountable to eat something really healthy. Yeah, okay, cool. And if they're like, no, we're not going to help you, then maybe you don't want to go out with them. Maybe those are the people you need to get out of your life to put people who actually want to row with you, who want to hold you accountable, who want to see you accomplish your goals. This is this is another whole podcast on the people you surround you with. There will be people in your life right now that do not want you to accomplish your goals. Why? Because they are unable to accomplish their goals. And so I don't think they do it frontal lobe. Some people might, and they're just horrible people. But there are people who subconsciously are so frustrated and discouraged by their own failure that they subconsciously try to encourage others to fail along with them so they don't feel as much failure, so they feel camaraderie in their failure. Did you just hear that? Be careful who you surround yourself with, because some people will want you to fail so that they feel okay about their own failure. So this is why you need to assess where you failed, where you had that temporary failure. Really write out what happened there. What was the context? Maybe I need to avoid that context. Maybe I'm not strong enough yet to encounter that context. Or maybe it wasn't the context. It was just I made some poor decisions there, and I need to think strategically on how to make better decisions when I'm put in that context again. Assess. So number one, when you experience temporary failure, assess it, adjust. Right? Is my diet too intense? Is my training program so intense that if I get sick, I'm totally mentally out of the game now, and now I feel light years behind? That's not a good mindset, right? You can be intense, but be intense with some grace that people get sick, that life happens, and then just get back on board with your intensity. Like, is my program too intense? Is it too much? Am I trying to work out 7 days a week? I would never encourage anyone to work out 7 days a week. Rest is is vital. Your body needs to recover. You're not going to work out as good as you can, as powerfully as you can, if you are working out 7 days a week. I work out 6 days a week, and that's probably too much, especially the way I lift. I need to be working out 5 days a week. That's why my arm day is kind of I call it a half rest day, because I'm not, well, I probably am going a little bit too hard, but I'm going to try to dial that back. So assess, adjust, right? You need to make adjustments. If you just assess it and then hope that you'll take care of it the next time, no. Make adjustments. Ask yourself, do I need to be in that context? Do I need to be around those people? What was it that happened, and how do I set myself up then to make better choices when put in that situation again? Assess. Number 2, adjust. Number 3, attack. Now you go into attack mode. Now you say, okay, I like failure because I'm not looking to fail, but when I experience failure, that helps me assess, adjust, helps me know myself, helps me know my weaknesses, helps me become better. So now I can go attack. Now I'm ready. I'm ready when that situation comes up again, and I'm almost hungry for it because now I want to win. Now I want to win. Sorry, I'm still fighting that cough. This you can use this for anything, right? For failure at work, for failure in relationships, assess, adjust, and attack. Too many people, they may assess, maybe they'll do some adjustment, but they don't attack. They're scared now to get back on the horse. They're scared because they got bucked off. It was uncomfortable. It hurt. And now they're scared. Attack. Go attack. In fact, if you if you really want to get after it, put yourself in that context again and see if you win. Get right back after it. I'll go to eat with you guys again. Yeah, because I failed that time. In fact, I didn't ask you to help keep me accountable, or I did ask you and you didn't. And so now I'm just going to show you, like, this is who I am. I'm not that person. I'm this person. I'm a new person. I'm transforming myself. Boom. Go get after it. If you're looking for help in that, you say, man, that's what I want. I want to be that kind of person who assesses, adjusts, and attack. I tried that on my own, and it just doesn't work. Great. Surround yourself with people. Give yourself a coach that will help you transform, help you with that mindset work. Excuse me. If I can do that, would love to help you. Join. You can go to thespartanprogram.com, and hear about what we're doing with the Spartan program, giving people a customized plan, giving people a path to walk down, and a people to walk with so that you can accomplish your goals. Would love to see if that program would be a fit for you. Go to the Spartan program, check it out, and keep getting after it. Don't let your failures be temporary. Don't let them make you give up on the goals and the dreams that you have. Until next time.